Just
We
for
don't
roll
have
call,
a-
where's
Evan,
Martha?
Michelle Dominguez.
She's on here?
Yes, Martha and
I call this meeting to order at 5 p.m. Commissioner Lucero.
Here.
Commissioner Windhorse.
Here.
Commissioner Lowry.
Here.
Commissioner Garcia.
I have Judy calling her right now, so hopefully she'll.
That's fine, let's see.
Well, that is Judy.
Can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Mr. Lucero will lead us in Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Windhorse will lead us in prayer, please.
Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for the opportunity that we have to gather for this Cibola County Commissioners meeting. We're grateful to have all our commissioners together. We are grateful for Martha Garcia and Christine Lowry, and we ask Thy blessings to be upon the Navajo, the Laguna, the Acoma, the Zuni reservations where there has been so much COVID. We ask Thee, Father, to stretch forth Thine hand and heal those that are sick and afflicted, and stay this virus that it will not do further harm. We thank Thee for the opportunity that we have to serve as public servants. And we pray that Thy Spirit will be with us, that as we discuss these important matters, that we will be guided accordingly to Thy Spirit, and that we will make the best decisions possible for the people of Cibola County. We are grateful for all those that work so hard, for our county manager, and for all the assessor, the treasurer, and also our wonderful clerk, Michelle Dominguez, and ask Thy blessings to be upon them. We ask Thee to be with us, that we will be able to have a good meeting tonight, and we pray for these things humbly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Commissioner Garcia said that she will call in 15 minutes.
That's fine. She's going to call into here. I don't know if it is she. She has a number. All right, that's fine. She has all the
Yes.
information for it?
Yes.
For the Zoom?
Yes.
And the numbers? That's fine. Move on to number 5, approval of the agenda.
I make a motion that we approve the agenda.
I second.
Second by Commissioner Lowry. Commissioner Lucero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Windhorse?
Yes.
Commissioner Lowry?
Yes.
And I myself, yes. Move on to number 6, public comment. The public has the opportunity to provide comment on any subject during the public comment period. Speakers' comments will be limited to 3 minutes unless the Board of County Commissioners requests more information. The time limit is given in effort to allow public input, but also to move the agenda forward in a prompt yet efficient manner. Anyone call in?
There has been nobody.
We'll move on to number 7, minutes. Minutes from November 12th, 2020, special commission meeting.
No comments.
I have no comments.
I don't. All right.
There was a couple of mistakes that I saw on page 2. Up on top, on number 5, where it says 519. And I said, the canvassing board on hold, and then something I don't know.
I don't even have a 19. What number did you
Number
say?
9.
Oh, number 9.
Commissioner
Motion made
Lucero's
by
name was
Commissioner to put the
misspelled.
canvassing board on hold and reconvene later in this meeting, seconded by Commissioner Windhorse. That was for, wasn't it the ballot or something that we had to put something on hold 30 minutes or something? Was it around there?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It sort of didn't make sense to me, but that's fine.
Any other questions on this? You have any questions, Commissioner Lowry, on the minutes from
No, I
November
don't.
12th? Commissioner Winworth,
No.
Commissioner Lucero.
That's it.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes from the November 12th, 2020 special commission meeting.
I second it.
Second by Commissioner Lucero. Commissioner Lucero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Winworth,
Yes.
Commissioner Lowry,
Yes.
and I myself, yes. Move on to number 8, A, Budget and Finance Report. Kate Fletcher, County Manager.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. As you could probably see that Paul is not here. He's at home, and he will be doing our finance report. But for right now, I'll just do a quick manager's update of what's going on. The first thing I'd like to do is introduce you to our new DWI coordinator, Joanna Pena. I asked her to be here so you can actually see her and her name, and she's doing a fantastic job. She has already connected with all the judges and law enforcement and having meetings to move on the DWI program to make it succeed. So welcome, Joanna. I really appreciate it.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Look forward to the opportunities and the challenges.
All right. Is it going good so far?
It is going good so far. We do have one resignation. Don Cook will be leaving us at the end of this week. And as the county manager said, I've got meetings set up with the judges and law enforcement to see what they need, what's working and what isn't working.
Is that position are we going to leave it vacant? You leaving it vacant for a while? Or?
We're going to re-examine the needs of the department and go from there. So
All right,
I'm
then.
hoping to not have it open for too long.
All right.
I think it's a great opportunity for Joanna to build her own department, for her to be able to know
Yeah.
what she needs. So welcome, Joanna.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
looking forward to working with you very much.
As am I. Thank you.
So thank you.
Looking forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Again.
Again. Yes, again.
Anyway, so I'm going to carry on because I wanted to kind of give you an update of COVID. As of yesterday, 12/7/2020, Cibola County has had a total of 1,786 individuals that have tested positive with COVID-19, and 49 individuals from the county have died from the virus. We are working really well with Department of Health. I wanted to give you a good sign. Vaccines, we've had a lot of meetings with the Department of Health with vaccines. We are going to be moving our pod for our testing site from the outside. Remember, we were doing the drive-through. We will now be using the Armory starting next week, we hope. And the Armory has a closed-in, weather-controlled area for Department of Health to not only do testing, but also, when the time comes, vaccinations will be administered at that building. So,
Is that in back of the,
yes,
where the
Yes.
maintenance is?
Yes.
And it's, all right,
that is correct, sir.
all right, that's fine.
So I think it would work. They're very pleased with it, and I think it'll work really well. So I wanted to take a time to say thank you for our IT department. No one really talks about that very much. And with COVID, we have 90% of our employees are working from home. And they're working from home successfully, a lot to do with our IT department and how they have worked with each employee to make sure that they have what they need to succeed within their job and to also stay safe. So people say that change is always hard. I can honestly say with this pandemic, the change is happening on a daily basis. So I appreciate all our employees. Change is hard, and on a daily basis it's even harder. And the patience, I appreciate everyone's patience and understanding, and I'd like to say thank you to everyone that is working through this with all of us. So thank you. CARES Act funding, we have some really good news. We will actually be expending all our funding that we receive from small businesses by December 31st. We have helped 93 businesses total in the county. We were awarded $2,023,500. We've sent out with checks a total of nearly $1.4 million. We have $600 million that is already being distributed on the document side to be re-sent to businesses that still had over had more money that we've spent that we can give back to them. So I can just say that Candy Williams, our program administrator, she's done a phenomenal job, and I appreciate everything she's done. She's been very organized, very clear-cut, and you always appreciate someone like that on these programs. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we have been unable to receive enough applications for the road superintendent position, and it's been quite a while, and I felt that it was necessary to address this in a way. Wayne Vihel is our second in charge down there, and for about 6 months, 5 months, he has been working and doing extra and helping me on a daily basis so I know what's going on. Because we don't have anybody qualified for the position, I would like to appoint him as acting superintendent until the summer of 2021, so I can pay him a wage that's beneficial for us, but also for him for what he's doing. And then in the summer, we will reopen that position, and hopefully, because I'm hoping that COVID will be a little bit less right there in our faces, that we can be able to get some good qualifying people to take that position. So I have appointed him as acting road superintendent until the summer of 2021, until we reopen that position. And if there's anything else, any questions for you?
No.
I appreciate it.
Well, I'd like to make one comment, and that was that lady that's doing the CARES Act. I've heard nothing but good about her from a lot of
too.
people. A lot of people have said that she's very helpful, she's very organized,
I agree.
and she's making calls when people don't do the right paperwork and stuff like this. So she really needs to.
Absolutely.
I mean, considering that she's by herself, really.
She's doing a fantastic job, and she communicates with our finance and myself all the time, working very closely with the city and the village. But I absolutely appreciate you saying that, Commissioner, because she has done a phenomenal job,
Yes.
and I appreciate that.
Commissioner Lowry, did you have any comments on what was spoken with the county manager?
No, but I do appreciate the, I guess Wayne's so-called promotion. That's a good resolution, I think, until summer 2021. And I too appreciate the comments on what Candy has done in such a short time. And it's always good to hear from the public. That is so good. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Windhorse?
Now I'm going to turn it over to, I'm sorry, Commissioner Windhorse, do you have any comments?
No, I'm real happy about this for Wayne. Wayne's been working really hard, and I see him out and about, and they're doing good work.
Yep, I agree. So, thank you.
On that note, I think I will excuse myself
Thank you,
and
Joanna.
let you do your very important business.
No, you have to stay.
It's so boring. Thank you all, Anna. Good night.
Bye, Jen.
Right, thank you.
Paul Ludi, are you on?
Yes.
You have it. Go for
Good
it.
evening, everybody, Mr. Chair, Commissioners.
Good evening there, Paul. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I got cabin fever.
Hey,
Got a sore throat tonight, so Kate asked me to work from home. Protect everybody. Going into the finance report, the first few slides, we're doing the same thing over to track everything. As you can see, our November GRT, it's still staying strong. These other lines here, these were our prior year GRT, so we're staying well within the range with this COVID, and so that's really good news. We would have budgeted up here, but we're actually budgeting down here to ensure we don't have any furloughs for this year. We can take care of the county staff and so forth. This is just a breakdown of the gross receipts tax that we received. We have notes. Judy puts the PowerPoint notes on the Facebook page, and it's also on the web page on the county website under the Finance Director webpage. So if you need access to them, you can find them there.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions on the breakdowns? In the notes, it also explains how these gross receipts taxes are used.
Commissioner Lucero,
I have no questions.
Mr. Whitmore,
I have no questions.
Commissioner Lowry.
Nice breakdown, thank you.
All right.
Great.
Go ahead, Paul.
All right, great. So again, we're tracking the county, the city, and as well as the village just to see how it's affecting everybody as we're all one community. And we're all pretty much staying strong. So it's really good news. It looks like Milan's the most stable, then the county, and then the city, because they highly rely on gross receipts tax. We sort of have the property tax that also helps buffer us, but the village, we're believing it's, they got the truck stop going through there and the big gas stations and so forth. So here are the property taxes collected. I sort of want to show you guys this time around where we would have budgeted for property tax at $3.5 million. But with the COVID, we budgeted here. So we're hoping to get to this level with revenue, and that would be a great goal. But again, to be on the safe side and ensure that we can cover all of our expenditures this fiscal year, we went and played it conservative. And here's where we're currently at. The oranges, the prior year taxes, and the blue, property taxes haven't really started yet coming in. So we will see more activity coming soon.
Thank you, Paul.
All right.
Here's our monthly finance report. This is us as of November 30th. As you know, we had to have this commission meeting a lot sooner than what we usually do. So there's a lot of activity that still hasn't been done yet, but we're all in good shape. You can see our reserves are being maintained, and we still have a lot of unassigned investments if we need it. Our general fund is going strong, and that's great. So these deficits here, the first one, the indigent fund deficit, that's going to be supplemented by the general fund, and that is what it is. We did get some new technology, some software to help minimize the costs, but we will have to cover any other costs above that.
The reason why, can I,
Down to the
Paul-
CARES Act program.
Paul, can I interrupt real quick?
Hold on, Paul.
Oh, yes.
Hold on.
Questions?
Yes,
The
hold on.
reason why the indigent fund is so low right now is because we had some air flights with inmates to a couple, and then we usually average only about one a year, and we've actually had 4 this year. So that is, and that's when we worked out, remember last time we approved the policy?
Right,
That's because we want to stop that cost.
but we still pay.
We had to
We
pay-
still pay on but that got paid, but now we don't pay that much
That's
no
right.
more, right?
That's correct, that's what we're trying to go for,
Right.
yes. Thank you, Paul, I'm sorry, keep going.
No problem. Thank you for mentioning that. If we go down next to the CARES Act program deficit, these are one of the funds that you guys approved last month, and we made these 2 new funds here. So the CARES Act, that's a reimbursement-based grant, and so next quarter we may need to do a loan from the general fund. So we may need to do some budget adjustments again to actually do transfers, and once we get reimbursement, we can send it back to the general fund. The next one, it's the CARES Act election grant, and great job, Michelle Dominguez, for finding this grant, applying for it. All this money has already come in, so we're able to use that instead of as a reimbursement base. But I did notice in the balance sheet now, there's a liability for this amount, and I do not think it should be there. It's an accounts payable, so it's saying all of the grant money is already encumbered. I don't believe it is. I checked the other reports with the activity during the month, and there are no encumbrances, so I believe there may be an entry error here in the balance sheet, and we'll be looking into it.
Okay, yes, Michelle has been working
Yeah.
on this, so there are some purchase orders out there that will be recorded, you'll see next month on that one.
I'm sorry?
You'll be seeing, Michelle still has outstanding,
Purchases.
purchases. So you'll see a difference next month.
Yeah. We'll see we'll check it out. So the only encumbrances I've seen right now, and encumbrances are when you issue a purchase order, they show up on the detail versus budget report, and they're not there right now, so that's why this is odd. But this is why we do this, to keep track, make sure our financial records stay correct. But we'll give you an update next month.
All right.
The next one is the detention center. As you guys know, we're always transferring into here. We did already get governing body approval to do this when we got the budget approved. So we'll be able to, we won't need governing body authority again. We'll just keep transferring to cover those deficits. At the end of the year, we should have a zero balance. Anything over can get reverted, but we'll end up using it again in the detention, so we'll adjust it as necessary. And finally, the last one is the capital outlay. So thank you, Judy, for getting me all the information on the grant, the re-auth and everything again. Remember Juanita's grant that she got for her skid steer and all of her equipment and her excavator? Well, they didn't spend all of that legislative appropriation. Judy was able to get it reauthorized. They've been able to buy a truck this year for maintenance. So they're really getting geared up, and great job, Judy and Juanita and Lalo.
Paul, can I interrupt real quick?
Go ahead, Paul.
Sure.
I have good news. As of about 30 minutes ago before the meeting, I signed off on the last requisition that she had $42, so now she has spent every single penny of it. So well done, Juanita. So it has already been spent, Paul. You just haven't got the report yet.
All right. And finally, on the report, what I have to tell you guys, oh yeah, that's it. So let's go to the budget adjustments.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate.
All right.
So these are the budget adjustments we're requesting. I don't know, Kate, did you mention 2 police cars?
Not yet. It's not in the action. I will when we get there.
Okay. Well, in the budget adjustments, we'll be increasing $80,000 to the sheriff's capital outlay budget
If they
to
approve
purchase
it.
2 more units. Kate will expand on this a little later. The other ones is for the capital projects, to get the capital project fund up to gear to expend the rest of that grant. Then we have E911. They received emails. They need to get some new computers. They're going to be outdated and they're mandated to upgrade.
That money's not coming out of general
They're
fund.
going to use their own balance, so that's a straight increase, but using their own cash balance. The road department, it's them realigning their budget authority so that they also need computers. That place, their computers are very old. Their scanner barely works. It's a one-pager. So that'll help them. The Laguna Fire Department are using the fire protection funds provided by the state, and basically they're just realigning their authority as well. The Census Bureau grant with Anna, her too, she had some deficits. This was an earlier budget adjustment that I hadn't gotten in because we, hadn't been doing any. So that just realigns some of that. She'll have some more budget adjustments later. And then the Blue Water Volunteer Fire Department, they're asking for a straight increase using fire protection fund money to cover more costs for Target Solutions. Does anybody have any questions on the budget adjustments?
No, I just wanted to reiterate, the only, the one that is, the biggest one is what I will be discussing in an action item with the capital outlay with the 2 purchases. That's from general fund. Everything else, they already have that money. We're just making sure that they have enough to move on as it's December. So everybody's doing really well, just so you know, all the funds are right on track. So they're doing extremely well, so thank
And all
you.
the fire departments, the one you said with Blue
Yeah.
Water, they all have that
They
in
all,
their
they all
funds,
have
right?
it, yep.
All
We
right.
were just telling. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we'll have some big increases. for Lobo Canyon next month and San Rafael, mostly Lobo Canyon. We're going to keep the fund in place, but he's, wants to pour the slab and get the water tank up. They're going to need a crane for that, so there's going to be some large increases in the future, but we can discuss those next month. And with that, is there any other questions? Do you want me to go back to any other slides?
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, guys.
Hope you feel
Thank
better.
you. You stay safe.
Will do. You guys too.
All right.
Thank you,
We'll
Mr.
move on to 8B, review and discussion of the McKinley County draft ordinance forming the McKinley County Electric Generating Facility Economic District.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. McKinney, as you're aware, we've been discussing the HB 8, and McKinley County put an ordinance that we discussed last time. They actually had a meeting this morning, and on our Zoom there are a commissioner and Evan Williams, and I have here, Eileen is actually here if we've got any questions. But I thought, if you didn't mind, Commissioner Lowry, would you like to discuss what you learned this morning?
Yes, thank you. I attended the McKinley County Commission meeting this morning, and two things. One, they named their board and passed the ordinance. The one thing that really applies to us is a change of language in the sunset clause, and the language changes from shall be dissolved to maybe, and that was, concerning Cibola County's participation in this effort. So that is the only change that was made. There were some good questions asked about term limits on the, or when does the term limit start? Because it's going to take about 6 months or so to get everything rolling, to open a bank account, to set up the infrastructure. And so, you could lose 6 months in doing some of this work. So they just wanted clarification on term limits.
Thank you. Commissioner Lowry, I know that Dave Pato has been working you've spoken to Doug on this ordinance?
Yes, Madam Manager, I secured a copy of the ordinance in Word format and shared my comments in Word format here with you. Mm-hmm. We discussed just earlier what the qualifications are for service on this district, and I'll share that with the board as well. And this is statutorily, the legislature set forth the requirements or the qualifications for a member to serve on this board. And to serve on this board, the person must have experience in energy development business, economic development, finance, commercial real estate investment, or accounting, or possess other qualifications that the governing body determines are necessary or appropriate for carrying out the duties of the authority, but does not at the time of the appointment, and will not have during service as an authority member, employment, or contract with an energy development business. And there shall be no direct substantial conflicts of interest in the business or operation of the authority. Additionally, elsewhere in the statutory scheme, it says that an elected official cannot be appointed to the board. So those are the general qualifications that the legislature set forth in House Bill 8, and I stand for any questions the board might have regarding the process by which we can examine whether or not to join the district once created by McKinley. But the way the statutory scheme operates, it can only be created by McKinley. And then we'll have an opportunity to join and add 4 board members if we do join.
Thank you, Dave. Commissioner Moore, are you on our Zoom meeting? Hello?
Commissioner Moore, are you with us? He's not with us.
Okay, Eileen, would you like to say anything, discuss what you think is important with this and how we choose maybe? I'd like to talk about the qualifications and how we choose to succeed.
Right, there's one, Dave.
Thank you. Chairman, Commissioners, County Manager, The selection of the members that will be serving on this board is very important. And I believe the qualifications that are set forth in the legislation were put there intentionally because this is, it's a very sensitive issue and it needs to be handled by people who know what they're doing and have the experience to do so. So I would encourage you to think and look and consider very carefully your choices for this board. As you know, McKinley County has already made their choices public this morning at their meeting. And so we would like to make sure that we have a good balance for that, to be supporting Cibola County as well.
But when do we have to have these names?
You have to have the, I believe you have to have the names and
Qualifications.
and them be vetted to do so by December 31st.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, December 31st of this year. There is a clause that said something about April 1st, but that's only under extenuating circumstances or for some reason that it couldn't get done by the 31st. But because McKinley County has acted and they passed the ordinance and they've named theirs, we're just waiting for them to extend the invitation to us, and it would be in our best interest to be ready with those four when they do extend that invitation.
Thank you.
Have we made an announcement anywhere for people to start applying?
Not yet, that's what I was going to talk to you about. I think we need to request resumes for interest, and then
Yeah, but
some
we
phone
need
vetting.
we need to give them
But I'd
a
like
short period of time because we should be, like Eileen said, ready to go by December 31st. We can't be behind on this thing because I don't want to lose that $13 million or whatever it has come to.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I do recall having seen the December 31st date before.
But it's-
Looking through the draft that I had been most recently provided by Mr. Decker, I have April
21st.
31st
Is it 31st? Yes.
in here. So was that
It was
changed? Or?
discussed today, and I don't know, so originally, I believe the date was April 2021.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then when the changes were made, along with the qualifications of who can serve on the board, I believe that date was changed to December
Oh,
31st to accommodate.
Today.
To accommodate Tri-State's participation
Gotcha.
in the authority,
I
their
don't know if we'll
donation,
have,
and
I don't know if
coincide
that'll
with
get done
lead-in
or
and
hopefully
state
it'll, I'm thinking
economic
January.
development is participating
2
in
weeks.
the
They
legislation.
haven't even announced it.
So with that, that's changed. So it
I don't want
was,
to push things forward.
the biggest
either.
thing was
I
for,
just don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
what, yeah.
On that
Biggest thing
huge
is-
draft.
Okay, well,
McKinley County is leading this.
Mr. Chair?
Yes,
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Lowry.
No, this is Martha.
Oh, all right. Hello, Martha, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. What I would like to request or have a recommendation out there. Can the staff, the manager, and people that are in charge there do an outline for the commissioner as to when we should be coming together to discuss this more, and then set out a schedule when the announcement's going to go, people to submit their resume or whatever if they're interested, and also set the qualifications out to the commissioner so we can review it before the next time we meet to make our selection. I think that would be the best way to act on this, whether it be by December 31st or there's circumstances, as I understand, we can't go until April 1st. So I think we need to take a very careful look at this, and I realize that not being able to meet face-to-face has prevented us from participating in a full discussion over this. So I would like to recommend that we just set aside a special meeting to meet on this, or maybe at the next regular meeting is when we would be making an appointment, a selection of our appointment to the board.
And I don't know how everyone else feels, but I think that needs to be done. So we have something to go by, that we would have a schedule, we would have an outline, a timeline of what we need to do. That's what I wanted to express on this topic.
All right, thank you. What is what do we have? Is it going to be, Dave, is it April or was it December? That's why I said we're in limbo on 2 dates. And I don't see getting out anyway in 2 weeks where we haven't even put it out to the public or nothing to hire a board.
Mr. Chairman, so I do not have the copy that they approved today. And so the draft that I was provided by Mr. Decker said April 1st, 2021.
That's what.
But Ms. Yarborough said that during the meeting today that they changed it to accommodate, or they may have changed it to accommodate Tri-State, and so therefore imposed a December 31st deadline.
Evan Williams is.
Is that correct?
There was a December 31st deadline that was put in place when the legislation was changed, but Commissioner Lowry was on the call as well.
Okay.
And so I don't know what the final determination was. I heard December 31st.
Okay, Anthony Demas, would you like to help us with this one, please? Are you there?
Yes, Kay. Mr. Chairman Torres, if I could have the floor, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Just so we're clear, so our county commission approved the authority this morning, and if you allow me to share my screen, I could share that part we were discussing earlier. You guys were discussing earlier about the date.
Yeah.
What needs to happen is all, from my understanding, and the doors up to confirm, but we just need a letter from Cibola that you're going to join the authority by December 30th from your commission, and then you have up until April 30th to get your board members. But we do need something in writing that's saying we are joining the authority, but that'll give you more time to get your board members.
All right.
So, Mr. Chairman,
thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I might.
Go ahead, Dave.
Because this item is not on the agenda for this evening for approval, and we do not have another meeting scheduled this time, absent objection by the board, Kate will go ahead and, pursuant to the authority this board has previously vested in her, move forward and provide a letter to that effect, which letter will have confirmed by the board at its next commission meeting, confirming that it does indeed intend to move forward with the joining of the district. But at least that way, if the board were so inclined, and if it doesn't voice any objections at this meeting this evening, Kate can go ahead and get them the letter that they need by December 31st, and then this board can then go ahead and confirm at its meeting in January.
That's what.
I agree with that.
I agree.
Thank you, Anthony. I see that. And I would also say that I think it's now the time to, I need to vet it out. We need to publish it. And I was going to work very closely with Eileen, if that's okay, Eileen, and Judy. And that's the next phase, because I think we need people that have interest in our next meeting, January meeting.
That's fine. And it has the
Well,
first step there.
that gives them at least, 6 weeks?
Yeah, because if we're
Yeah.
going
To
by...
apply?
That's even resumes, everything.
Anthony, thank you for clarifying that, because I really did think it was April, and I appreciate that. So we will get that letter, I will send that letter to you, and we will move ahead on what we need to do to get our appointees to you.
The letters only has to be from Kate.
Yep.
That I was the attorney.
Absent objection from the board, Kate can go ahead administratively and send them a letter advising that the county intends to join. And then we can have this board go ahead and affirm that in its January organizational meeting.
That's all right.
So
I agree with that.
That'll work. It'll kind of tidy it all up.
I would also, when I publish it, to me, it's very important, and I'd like to know what the qualifications is really important for us to get that information out to people that are interested, so we can actually have people that are qualified, but also we're setting them up to succeed rather than setting them up to fail.
And what do we have, 4 seats, correct? So
Yes, correct.
even then, we'll have to come up with the time frame to review and see how many people do apply.
Well, excuse me, but Can we just put all that stuff out by the end of this week, or maybe beginning of next week? And then have
Yeah,
an extra meeting in January, like,
Yeah, no
And-
discussion
and
to
go-
review.
and review all that stuff, and
Yes.
then make our final decision on our last meeting of, our first meeting in
Absolutely.
January.
Yeah, I would like
We
to
could
set
have
it
a
done by
special-
February.
Because, like I say, we need to get this done, and we can't be procrastinating too long with it, because I really don't, when you have that much money, you don't want to lose it.
Commissioners, I would like, if it's possible, that if you have anybody, people that you think might be really good for this, please reach out to them and let me know, and I can reach out as well if you would like. But I will vet it, and we will publish it in the newspapers.
Yeah, if we can publish it and see what we do, and go ahead and throw some qualifications. Like I said, they named off what would be good for us.
Do you have any other ideas, Eileen?
You can use social media, you can use the newspaper, we can send out through email lists and those kinds of things. Commissioners, I would like to thank you for agreeing to be a part of this authority. My focus was to make sure that letter of commitment is sent to McKinley County by December 31st, so.
I'll get it
thank you
out
very
tomorrow
much.
to them.
Appreciate it.
We will get it done. Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Garcia.
Yes, we are talking that in the letter, I think we need to do it in the form of a motion so that we're all behind it and not just assume that everyone is behind this, but to do it by a motion and a second and direct the manager to go ahead and send a letter.
Thank you very much.
That way we're all together.
I agree with you, but unfortunately, we have no action item on our
Yes, not an
agenda.
action item.
So that's why if you are not, we can't go that way because we cannot approve something that's not on the agenda.
Right.
So if you don't have any objections, Dave, am I correct?
That's correct.
If you don't have any objections, I'm going to intend to send the letter on my behalf because I know that I have no objections throughout the commission.
And one thing further, that this matter will then come before the board in January for this board's ratification of the commitment to enter into that agreement.
Yeah.
Or enter into the district. So
That's fine.
this board will take a vote on this, but it's going to be delayed until January.
Right.
Beginning of January, we'll get a special meeting up.
Did you catch that, Commissioner Garcia? The reason for not making a motion and taking a vote?
Yeah, I got that. But I, for one, as a commissioner, am in favor of authority.
That's fine. And Commissioner Lowry, you in favor of it?
Well, no, just a comment. I agree that this board is really significant. And I had asked Mr. Demas for the qualifications of the people that have been named. Since we don't know these people and we don't know their qualifications, I'd like to reiterate that request to Mr. Demas and have that information sent to Kate Fletcher so that we can be introduced to their nominees, at least. Is that acceptable, Mr. Demas?
The commission,
No, it's already
we don't
approved.
have, if you're looking for a resume or something like that, the commission did not put something together like that. They handpicked the appointees based on what they thought was best to get this up and running. They have Commissioner Tony Tanner, or past Commissioner Tony Tanner, businessman, sits on the economic development for the GGEDC, the Greater Economic Development. Bill Lee, current county commissioner, will be appointed January 1 when he steps down from the commissioner on 12/31. Rhonda Mitchell is from Tri-State, or actually she's retired, so she's going to be a part of our board. She's from Tri-State. Mr. McGee, I can't remember his first name, he's an engineer. His expertise is groundwater and stuff like that. And then the commission appointed me with my experience in local government, ordinance, bonds, financing, accounting, and that sort of thing.
Thank you very much, Anthony.
Well, the qualification, like I said, they don't have a resume for them, but those are the people named.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if we can put something out on the web, newspaper, and saying, we're looking for 4 people for these positions, and these are the qualifications
I have
that
that.
you need, then we don't have to follow McKinley
Right.
County's way, but at least this way, we, like Commissioner Garcia said, if we have a special meeting in the early part of January, we can sit down and review this stuff and know what we're going to look at
Or who we're
on
gonna
January
appoint.
28th to approve. And this gives us the time to review all this, people's applications, qualifications, et cetera.
That's fine with me. That's what, just, either way, we gotta see where we're at and see how many people before we even get to that bridge. Put out the
I will.
letter and stuff, we'll cross that, and then we'll see what qualifications that are expected and see how many people respond and who would like to do it.
Thank you.
All right. Do you have any other questions, Commissioner Garcia? Do you have any questions, Commissioner Garcia?
No, I don't have any questions. Can you hear me?
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Commissioner Lowry, do you have any questions?
Yes, just 2 for Mr. Demus. Bill Lee, what his qualification is?
Bill Lee is the executive director of the Gallup McKinney County Chambers. He knows the businesses, been working with the business for many of the years, so his background is in the business workforce and working economic development to the chamber side.
And Rhonda Mitchell, her position at Tri-State?
She's actually retired right
Yes.
now. She's a contractor for him until she takes the board seat.
Contractor, okay. Thank you, that's very helpful.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? You got any questions, Commissioner Winters?
I have no questions.
All right then.
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone that attended for your input. We really appreciate Anthony, Evan,
Yeah, we'll have to
Ms.
do
Moore.
that first. All right.
Chairman Torres?
Yes, go ahead.
I'd just like to extend a hand if you guys need any help at all, or Kate needs any help at all, she can call, we can walk her through, we can help her, whatever way we can do to help you guys.
All right then, I appreciate that.
Thank you, Anthony.
All right then, we'll move on to number 9. New business, action may be taken. A, canvass of the 13th Judicial District Attorney Election Recount.
So this is actually something you do not need to approve, but we needed to let you know that there was a recount for the district attorney position. Michelle Dominguez is on the phone, but I can actually relay, they did a recount for that position for this county, and the numbers did not change. They were exactly the
Right.
same. So,
Very good.
yes, so that's all I needed to let you know about, and we needed to get that to the,
I just had a question. Why did we have to do a recount?
it was very close within the
Yeah.
district.
So it was
Not
ordered.
for us.
So it was ordered by the
Yes.
Secretary of State?
Yes.
It's less than,
Less than
I believe it's
1%.
less than 1%.
I was gonna, it's law regardless, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
You
all
don't even
set.
have to ask, it goes automatically.
So it's
Yeah.
not just our county that did the recount, it was that district. So it was Valencia and Sandoval as well. So I'm not aware of those numbers. I needed to let you know that the recount took place here and there was no change whatsoever. So is that enough, Michelle? Anything you'd like to add?
That's awesome.
No,
Great, thank you.
but, talked about it, it was just an automatic recount because the numbers were so close. So they ordered us to do a recount, and we recounted all the ballots that were submitted on, election night, and nothing changed.
Thank you, Michelle.
Ask her if she's got results from Valencia and Sandoval.
Did you get results from Valencia and Sandoval County?
No, they haven't put out any results. The state will certify this recount election on December 10th at 10 a.m.
All right.
Thank you very much, Michelle, for all that you've done.
Thank you, Michelle. You've done a great job.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions, Commissioner Garcia, for Michelle?
I don't have any questions for Michelle, but I do have to ask Kate to talk into the microphone.
Okay.
She is.
All right. Commissioner Lowry, did you have any questions for the county clerk?
No, I don't, thank you.
All right then. Well, like I said, we don't even have to make a motion because there ain't nothing.
That's it. So now we go to B.
Yep, we will move on to item B, consideration of resolution 20-64, fiscal year 21, budget adjustment number 3.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, that was actually in the report that Paul Rudy presented, that budget adjustment. I do recommend that we pass that so we can send it off to DFA.
Any questions, Commissioner Lucero? Commissioner Winhorst?
No questions.
Commissioner Lowry, do you have any questions about the budget adjustment?
No question.
Commissioner Garcia?
No question.
All right then. Do you have a motion for item B? Number 9?
I make a motion that we approve resolution number 2020-64-bar number 3, fiscal year 2021, a budget adjustment.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lucero. Commissioner Lucero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Winhorst?
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia?
I vote yes.
Commissioner Lowry?
Yes.
And I myself, yes.
Thank you very much.
We will move on to item C, consideration of Cibola General Hospital lease and the operating agreement.
Thank you very much, Chairman and Commissioners, and everybody, well done. We're finally here. Dave, everybody's been working so hard, and if we didn't have COVID, I'm sure this would be a nicer ceremony on how to get this signed. So, well done, everyone. I'm going to pass this on to Dave, and we've got 2 things that we need to sign. The lease agreement that has been approved by the Board of Finance, and the operating agreement that needs to be approved by yourselves and the hospital. The hospital is very aware of what we're doing tonight, and I will be giving it over to them for their signatures tomorrow morning. Dave?
Thank you, Madam Manager, Mr. Chairman. So we presented the matter to the Board of Finance at its last meeting. They approved the lease as it had been broken out from the healthcare facilities contract at the request. So you have both agreements before you tonight, both the lease and the healthcare facilities contract. The lease, once it's executed by us, they'll get executed by the hospital later in the week, and then we'll turn it over to the Board of Finance, and they will catalog, and it was unanimously approved. There were no issues or challenges securing that approval from the board itself. So we're very pleased to get this finished. So
We're gonna have no more hiccups, right?
well, you know what? This is it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a long time
I
coming.
hope
and
it's
I
been a long
apologize
time
for work for
coming.
as long as it's taken, but we've gotten here, and I appreciate your patience.
Commissioner,
And we thank you guys, the attorneys,
Yeah.
Yes.
all you guys, for the heck of a job and the time you spend on this. It was very well appreciated. We've never had, from the last contract I saw, compared to this,
Oh, yeah.
and this is like really understandable,
Well, good.
and it makes sense, considering from the one we had before that you, heck,
get a dictionary and get this.
yeah, and so I appreciate all the work you guys did. I really do.
Thank you very much.
Dave really
Yes.
did most of it, so he did a good
Yeah.
job. That was a lot of work.
But there ain't no I in team.
That's right. just an A for Adrian.
Good job, Adrian.
Anyway, Commissioner Garcia, do you have any questions on the hospital lease agreement? Commissioner Garcia, are you with us?
She's on mute. Commissioner, you're on mute.
She won't be able to hear us if she...
There she is. Hello.
Okay, I am here. No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, Commissioner Lowry, do you have any questions on the lease agreement? for the hospital?
No questions. No
Or-
questions, but it's a beautiful agreement.
Yes, it is. Do I have a motion for item C?
I make a motion that we approve item C, consideration of the Cibola General Hospital lease and the operating agreement.
And I second that.
Second by Commissioner Winhorst. Commissioner Lucero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Winhorst?
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia?
I vote yes.
Commissioner Lowry?
Yes.
And I myself, yes. We will move on to
Thank
item D, consideration of core civic contract.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. This is another contract that we really need to get this worked on, and we did with Core Civic. I can honestly say that we did a lot of compromising on both ends. We're going to be saving with this contract, we're going to be saving $510,000 a year with this contract that what we used to spend with. We also have the opportunity with this contract to be able to subcontract our beds if we do not fill them ourselves to other counties in need. So this is a very, I do recommend that we pass this as it's a strong contract and we do work very well together. And so basically the main issue is we're going to be dealing with, instead of paying every night 120 beds, we've gone down to 100 beds. So that not only helps us, but it also helps them in a roundabout way. But that also, we're going to be working with the pharmaceutical side, so we'll be saving money on that end as well. So this is a good contract. I know that Dave has been working on this as well. Dave, you have seen it, and are you in agreement with
Yes,
this?
Mr. Chairman, if I can identify just one more part of it, is
Yeah.
that it also allows us the opportunity to subcontract out those beds. So in addition to the $500,000 that we're saving there, if we sell some additional beds, we can make a little more cash there. So hopefully it'll work out well for the county.
Yes.
But now with the pandemic and stuff, we're not going that route yet.
We're averaging around 75, 80 right now,
All right.
so.
Commissioner Lucero, any questions?
No, I just had a comment. When I was reviewing this part, the front page of it, it said Core Civic Incorporation, a Maryland corporation, Maryland? I thought they were all based in Tennessee.
That's what I thought they were.
I think that's where they're, I
They
think
have
they're
a-
incorporated in Maryland for tax purposes and other purposes, but yes, I think their offices are out in Tennessee.
Okay, that's all I had.
Commissioner Winhorst, any questions?
Nope, I do not have any questions. Thank you, Kate, and our attorneys for this agreement. I think it's a good one. We're saving money, and that's good for Cibola County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Garcia, you have any questions?
No, I don't have it. I think Kate and the attorney is also working this out and coming to a real good agreement.
Yes. Commissioner Lowry?
Yes, one question. The conversation was kind of garbled, so I couldn't understand clearly. You said something about helping other counties? Kate?
Yeah, yes, Commissioner, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So what we can do now is, if we have only, let's say 80 inmates that are county inmates, we have 20 beds that we still have to pay for. So now we can actually allow other counties to subcontract those beds, so they will pay us if they have inmates that they need housed in other counties. So they will transport the inmates to Core Civic using our beds. So not only does it help us because we get paid by that county, but it's also much cheaper.
Okay. That's a novel agreement, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Do I have a motion for Core Civic contract?
I make a motion that we approve the Core Civic contract.
I second.
Second by Commissioner Lowry. Commissioner Lucero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Winhorst?
Yes.
Commissioner Lowry?
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia?
I vote yes.
And I myself, yes.
Thank you very, very much.
We'll move on to item E. Consideration of purchasing 2 additional vehicles for the sheriff's office.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, I don't know whether you remember when we were in the budget process, we looked at the fleet of the law enforcement, and history shows that vehicles were purchased when the reaction was they didn't have vehicles that were working. With our budget, we wanted to be ahead of the game and act. So at the beginning of this budget, because we did not know about COVID and how our GRT and our revenues were coming in, we approved 2 vehicle purchases. But once we look, it's December now, and the amount of maintenance that we've paid so far, I would like your consideration so we can you guys can approve the purchase of 2 more vehicles for the sheriff's office, understanding that this is a normal thing. We have to really purchase 4 vehicles a year to continue the rotation of solid, safe vehicles that don't have 400,000 miles on them. So I'm just asking for approval that we can move ahead and purchase 2 more vehicles for the sheriff's office.
Is he gonna strip 2 of the old vehicles we get rid of and put all the equipment in there? Or are we still on?
Actually, we'll have to we've already done that. We've already ordered new radios, so we already anticipated
Right.
that that's what was going to happen. So the radios are actually ready to go. I'm sure the sheriff will be utilizing what can be used, but we have to also think about the safety and the liability on everything. So
I
yes.
don't know, the vehicles that got approved already and purchased, the radios and stuff, that's what I said.
Yeah.
If we already did all those should still be up to
Yes.
par to
Yes.
just
Yes.
rotate it. All right.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Commissioner Lucero, any questions?
No, sir.
Commissioner Winters?
No.
Commissioner Garcia, you have any questions?
Yes, the only question I have is under item E, there's no resolution or no documents to see what kind of vehicles and who we're buying from and all that. I assume that will be provided at a later date, or what's going on?
Absolutely correct, Commissioner. So what we'll do is we'll start working on the process for quotes and state price agreements to get 2 vehicles, and you will be approving that in January with our requisitions over 20,000. This is just an approval so I can actually say, yes, we can purchase it, because it'll cost basically about $70,000 to $80,000.
That's what I'm looking at. Maybe even more.
Okay, very much for that information.
Thank you.
Commissioner Lowry, you have any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Do I have a motion for item E? Purchasing of 2 additional vehicles?
I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the 2 additional vehicles for the Cibola County Sheriff's Office.
I second it.
Second by Commissioner Lowry. Commissioner Lucero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Windhorse?
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia?
I vote yes.
Commissioner Lowry?
Yes.
And I myself, yes. We didn't have nothing for executive, did we?
No,
Mr. Chairman.
All right. We'll move on to number 11. We have nothing for executive session.
Wait, did you say we were going to talk about some purchases from the sheriff's office, or you're not going to discuss?
Yeah, I'm still working on the information on that. That will be addressed next time.
Okay.
I'm still looking into facts rather than, yes, thank you.
All right, we'll move on to number 11, announcements. The next regular commission meeting will be January 28th, 2020 at 5 p.m. via Facebook Live. The Cibola County offices will be closed Thursday and Friday, December 24th and 25th, in observation of the Christmas holidays, and Thursday and Friday, December 31st and January 1st, in observation of New Year's holiday. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you very much, everyone. Good night.
Good night. Good night. You all stay safe.
Happy holidays.